Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, we've got Wisconsin's fall spring in full effect. But despite the weather, it's time to get things planted. So we're going to start our seeds and get this garden started. This is just our first wave of seeds to plant, and we're starting off with some tomatoes, tomatillos, peppers, and eggplant. First up is going to be our tomatoes, and last year we learned a lot about them. We're changing things up a little bit and going to be a little more intentional with our planting. In this wave of tomatoes, we're planting two types of Roma tomatoes. The first one's going to be a Napoli tomato. It's a determinate variety producing 2 to 4 ounce tomatoes in about 70 to 80 days. The second is actually a true Roma tomato, which is also a determinate variety producing a 2 to 3 ounce tomato in about 65 days. We're planting the two varieties to see if we prefer one variety over the other in both its taste, growing size, and rate of maturity. Our next variety is going to be our sweetie tomatoes. Last year we planted 2 of these and we just could not keep up with their production. So this year we're only going to plant 1, and they produce a sweet 1 ounce tomato with a maturity rate of about 60 to 70 days. Then we'll be growing our Wisconsin 55 tomatoes again. I don't think they got a fair shake last year because of the overcrowding. We'll be a little bit more vigilant with them, ensuring that they're trimmed, trellised, and spaced appropriately. The Wisconsin 55 tomatoes are a disease-resistant and indeterminate slicing variety, producing a high yield of 6 to 8 ounce tomatoes in about 75 to 80 days. Next up is our Grande Rio Verde tomatillo, which we grew last year, and they produce a 3 to 4 ounce juicy tomatillo in about 30 to 90 days. Now these are an indeterminate variety and can become massive if not controlled, and that was our biggest problem last year. The first one is more of a traditional, is the Black Beauty eggplant. It's pear-shaped and grows about 4 to 5 inches in about 75 days. The second is going to be the long purple eggplant, which produces a very long, thin fruit, approximately 8 to 10 inches in about 75 days. It can be harvested between 5 to 6 inches for a more tender fruit. For our next tray, we'll be planting our peppers. We are starting with some of our sweeter varieties. Our sweet banana peppers, which did amazing last year in the garden. They were a great snacking treat for the boys. They picked them direct from the plant and just munched away. Next, we have our 3 varieties of bell peppers. Last year we grew purple variety, and we decided to mix it up and try something new with a chocolate beauty bell, which are smaller but super sweet. Then we have our big red bell pepper and sunbright yellow bell pepper. As for our spicy peppers, we're growing our usual suspects, starting with jalapenos. This year we're growing more jalapenos than any other pepper. We have plans to not only use them in salsa, but making jalapeno poppers, pickled jalapenos, and in cowboy candy. If you've never tried cowboy candy, it's sweet, spicy, and full of flavor. We add it to charcuterie boards, to nachos, tacos for a sweet kick, or just munch them right out of the jar. I absolutely recommend giving them a try. After we get a significant harvest this year, I'll make them and share the recipe with all of you, so stay tuned for that. Then we kick it up a notch with our Scotch bonnets. We're growing the red variety this year, and they're about the same heat range as a habanero. We use them to kick up our pickles, dilly beans, and salsa. Next is our ghost pepper. We made Smoky Spectre hot sauce last year, which was a smoked pineapple and ghost pepper hot sauce. And then we also added it to our salsa, which turned out amazing, bumping it up to about a medium to hot salsa. This is slowly becoming our new workhorse hot pepper. Lastly is our Carolina Reapers. We successfully grew these last year, but we had 2 plants, and 1 plant alone produced 100 peppers, and I used them to make our Reaper Berry hot sauce and jam. I'll be sticking to 1 plant this year and giving all the extra ones that end up coming up away as gifts to family and friends. Since I do all of this inside our renovated seed room, we want to try to contain our mess the best we can. So I'll be using these 7-gallon mixing tubs I picked up from Harbor Freight. Now for our seed starting mix, we're going to be using Burpee eco-friendly organic seed starting mix, and then adding water. And we're adding enough water to moisten the soil, but not so much that it's saturated and dripping from the soil when you hold it in your hands. This will give the soil a good start and make it easier for the initial watering. Now with my assistant, we will prepare and load the seed trays. These are peppers, these are tomatoes.
Okay.
So the reason why they're separate right now, Bud, is that these actually germinate faster. So these will actually germinate in 5 to 10 days, where the peppers actually take 10 to 21 days to germinate. So these will be ready in about a week. These might take 2 to 3 weeks. So we want to keep them separate, because if I were to cover, because I got a plastic cover, this goes over the top of it to maintain moisture inside, okay? Hold on, we're not ready yet. So it's gonna go over the top and maintain moisture. Keep it wet inside, okay? But these are gonna grow faster. So when they grow faster, I'm gonna be taking the top off. Well, these wouldn't be ready for the top to come off yet if they were mixed in here. So we gotta keep them separate. Got it? Okay, makes sense? All right. Next, we add the holes for planting the seeds and get started planting. Now everything is planted, we'll top it with vermiculite, which will help maintain moisture in the soil. Squeeze right here. Oh, that was right in the mouth. Hey.
Water bottles.
Put this on top. Then we top the trays with a transparent dome. This will help maintain the humidity so the seeds can germinate. And then we place the seed trays on a heated mat under LED grow lights. These domes will remain on the trays while the seeds germinate, but once they have all come up, I'll remove the dome and begin the hardening process after about a week. And then within the next week or so, I'll remove the trays from the heating pads. The hardening process will strengthen the seedling to make them more hardy. Lastly, once they start getting their second set of true leaves, I will transplant the cells into a larger pot and start the fertilizing process. And that's it for today. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And as always,
Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
perfect.